Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I just actually got done eating something very nice, and it was some. I made some tandoori chicken from scratch. Like literally, it was my first time ever making tandoori chicken. Had a little basmati rice on the side. Yeah. So I bring that up because that's, I guess, some people can say that's part of the Black Knight's life. Excuse me. Yeah, you got to know how to forage. You got to know how to eat out in the woods, things like that. I'm just figuratively speaking. I see Deliberate up in the building. Much blessings to you. Good to see you once again. Age of Aquarius. Good to see you once again as well. Yes, indeed. Black Knights is for all unison. So yeah, y'all probably see who's all gonna be here, and we'll open up the panel. I did say open panel, but I'll wait until there's more people here, then I'll open up the panel. So, with that said, sort of what tonight's topic is about, I don't want to say that this is necessarily a finale. This is probably more like an interlude, but better things are on the way. And I'm about to kick off more of this topic at another platform. So, I just kind of want to wrap up things in regards to Black Knight here. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So I've been cleaning up my mods again just so people will know who listens to this live stream on the replay. Don't take it personal, but I'm cleaning up mods because once again, I'm about to grow this channel more. And so eventually people are going to be able to join this channel. So I just kind of want to make it more presentable for that reason because we've seen what it be like when you know there's now beef over getting mod wrenches. Like, but that's another story. That's not for this topic tonight. But just want to move forward so that people will know going forward. Definitely more in store. But yeah, in regards to a Black Knight's life, anybody got any questions on the replay or even in the chat? Even with the ladies that are in the chat, Aquarius and Deliberate, feel free throw me some questions. What do y'all think about the Black Knight topic so far? What are your thoughts, opinions? Uh, there's no right or wrong answer. Things you agree with, things you disagree with, I don't care. Let's talk about it. Open panel. So I'll just try to see if I can get more people in the building in a couple of minutes. Then I'll put the link out there because I want to put the link out, but I want to wait until I see more people show up in the building for this type of topic. So yeah, so we're gonna definitely moving forward from there. It looks like I see a few more numbers coming in. Yeah, this is gonna be a good topic. So let me just get started right now while I wait for more people to show up so I can put the link in the chat for the open panel. So I'll tell y'all what I've gotten out of this series so far. But with that said, let's read off what Aquarius just asked. She said, did a black knight used to be a white knight? Good question. Yes. More than likely, yes. Sometimes no, but more than likely, yes. And yeah, y'all can go to my playlist titled A Black Knight's Perspective, where I get more into details about this topic. And I've even talked about it with a couple of people so far. So y'all get more insight on what a Black Knight is more than you can get it anywhere else. Okay. Yeah, definitely on another channel, another platform. I'll give more details as time goes on. Thank you so much, Deliberate. And then Age of Aquarius, she said that's totally understandable. You got to do what you got to do. I appreciate that. That is true too. Yes. So Black Knight has helped me out in many ways, even though I don't like to call myself a Black Knight. But y'all see the name on the screen. Instead of Bruce Wayne, it's Bruce Rain. Because I understand like a few things, in regards to the Batman story. But yeah, if some of y'all have noticed on the thumbnail, there was a quote at the bottom right screen where it says it was never about the Crusades. So I want to look more into that because y'all got to think like with Bruce Wayne, in my case being Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. Try saying that real fast a few times. um, he did a lot for the city, but the city never gave him that love back. That's what Bruce Wayne realized over time. He never got that same love back that he gave to the city. Okay. And so the Joker basically kept bringing that to his attention in a certain way. But even Bane did the same thing. Bane did the same thing. He brought this to Batman's attention. Like, yo, the city don't even love you, man. But you doing all this for the city. Now, if you look up Crusades, it basically is a vigorous campaign for political, social, or religious change. It could be a drive, it could be a push, it could be something like a million man march, but just a crusade. But for me being a Black Knight, it was never about the crusades. It was about one's inner self, oneself. You can't change everybody else, but you could definitely change yourself. Okay. You said, Aquarius, where are places that Black Knights like to hang out at since they are mysterious? Uh, at the oddest places. Maybe they hang out at restaurants, like at an Applebee's, versus going to a club. You know, like the best place for somebody like that to hang out is where they don't have to worry about being seen by everybody. So yeah, like I would say like an Applebee's, but there's a bar there. See, maybe a casino, but it's not a club. People going there thinking about the money. They're not going there thinking about trying to necessarily cause some type of problem. It's too much security in a casino. So the most obscure places, these are places where you might run into someone like a Black Knight. Now, I have had some people say this before. They've mentioned to me, like, Ray, is this alluding to kind of the ways someone that has a Sigma personality can be in these times? I would say, yes, to a certain extent. I think anybody that has a certain personality can actually become or be a Black Knight. I think that Black Knight is more so based on the journey versus the personality. You could have been what they would call an alpha male, a beta male, sigma male. I don't care. But it's about the journey that gets you to this other place called a Black Knight. But I don't think too many people take that journey. I think it's more enigmatic, more enigma. So I'd say only less than a handful of people will actually be a Black Knight, even those that call themselves Sigma males. So hopefully that kind of gives y'all more insight to that. You said deliberate. A Black Knight evolved, or was he born a Black Knight? He evolved into a Black Knight, deliberate in most cases. He might have had certain fortitudes that basically was him being a chosen one to eventually become a Black Knight. But yeah, just more so based on the evolution versus being born. But he had born traits and attributes that were more leaning towards this idea of being a Black Knight. One can even look at one's zodiac sign. I'm using astrology not for predictions, but for personality. Keep that in mind. But some people, based on their zodiac, probably have more tendencies to end up a Black Knight than others. So think about that too, ladies. Like some guys are probably more prone. Maybe someone more like a Sagittarius type. Maybe someone more like a I'm trying to think of another sign. Maybe Pisces. I don't know. Y'all can kind of go with me on that. Maybe some guys can think of this too, because I've talked to some guys about certain aspects like this, right? You said Aquarius. What's the difference between a Black Knight and a White Knight? Well, pretty much the White Knight simps and the Black Knight tries his best not to. I say it that way because I'm not going to be much of what they would call polarizing by saying the Black Knight doesn't simp. Okay, now he'll probably simp on his terms, but he's not trying to actually simp like a White Knight. But that's not to say the Black Knight doesn't simp. basically simp to me is making mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but would you rather make mistakes on somebody else's terms or on your terms? I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather make mistakes on my terms if you ask me. But yeah, that's a good question, Aquarius. Hopefully that answers your question. You said deliberate. The Black Knight is a savior of a righteous woman. Is he is not like the White Knight, Captain Saver. You know what? Right. Yeah, that's the thing. And then you looking at my avatar right now of a Black Knight. What he's wearing is not a cape. He's wearing a cloak. A cape is for fashion. A cloak is for function. Keep that in mind. Yeah, the Black Knight you would think does the work of the creator just based on like if you go to scripture deliberate it talks about wearing the full armor. So yeah, the Black Knight definitely tries to wear the full armor, just not part of it. Now of course this Black Knight in particular, he has his helmet off, right? Helmet of salvation. But he probably took his helmet off because he's in the presence of the creator, aka salvation. So you know, he's like, okay, I'm straight right now, I can at least take my helmet off, right? So yeah, but he puts the helmet back on when he, you know, he's no longer in the presence of the creator in regards to prayer. Like, I'm gonna get back with you, Heavenly Father. Let me go out here into the scorch earth, deal with some of these problems, right? So, okay, cool. I appreciate that, Aquarius. Yeah, so we definitely want to see more people possibly in the building. If not, then yeah, I'll definitely have to change my title slightly, just slightly. That's all. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get a little bit more people in the building and we can try to chop it up. This is pretty much a touchy topic, so most people don't jump on it because most people don't understand it or just haven't talked about it enough. So yeah, we got 11 minutes in this live stream. This could be a pretty long live stream, or this probably could be one of my shortest live streams I've ever done at rayologyxm. But hey, either way, all gold if you ask me. You said deliberate. The Black Knight gets his orders from the law, statutes, and commandments. Yeah, you would think the Black Knight would be a little more moral, you know, versus the world, because really the way of the Black Knight is not to be led by the ways of the world and the kingdoms and the Babylons out there, right? And the Sodoms and Gomorrahs. Now you look at the top right screen for those that are used to what I use as a banner on the top right screen. I've changed it. And I'll talk more about this as time goes on, but RX usually means recipe or prescription in regards to the medical field. And I put the M in there. Of course, you know me, Rayology XM, RXM. So I'm speaking beyond a lot of what people are going to consider pill logic, like red pill, blue pill, things like that. So the Black Knight is pretty much beyond that too in many ways. Like in Matrix, beyond red pill and blue pill, Neo had to become unplugged. So I bring y'all basically unplugged content at this point. You know, because y'all haven't really heard me at this channel talk a lot about red pill and blue pill because I'm like Neo. I took the red pill a long time ago, before red pill was even a term. But over time, to get to a higher level, I had to unplug and realize that beyond the pill, I always had the power, right? But I had to get unplugged to see that power. I thought, oh, I'm supposed to see that while I'm still tapped in the matrix. No, I have to be unplugged to truly see my power. And so the Black Knight had to unplug himself from the cities around him. Okay. You said Aquarius. What animal do you think the Black Knight is by far is as far as his mindset? Now, good question. At this channel, I have talked about the mongoose a lot versus the snakes and the mambas, because you know Kobe Bryant has the mamba mentality, and I think a counteraction to some things, not necessarily the mamba mentality. You gotta be like a mongoose. So I think the Black Knight represents a counteraction. He represents you know, not just really just the action of things, but the counteraction, the counter reaction to things, like the way he has to kind of maneuver a certain way. Neo had to maneuver a certain way, just like a mongoose. Okay, so I believe the mongoose represents the Black Knight. I believe the bear represents the Black Knight. Uh, You know, bears don't want to be bothered. You know, you bother a bear, you will get slaughtered by the bear. Okay. So that's the thing. Bears do not like to be bothered. If y'all could keep that as a hashtag, that'll save your life out there in the woods. Bears do not like to be bothered. You'll do everything you can to not bother a bear if you notice a bear, right? So I think also tigers represent black knights well too, just because everybody always thinks about the lion, but the lion is of the kingdoms, the lion kingdom, right? Okay, but the Black Knight is not part of those kingdoms. He might have an empire, but tigers don't live amongst that stuff. They live in forests. So an empire, a lot of them were started in the forest. Okay, and what tigers live in the forest. Okay, so all that hopefully answers your question, Aquarius, in regards to the animals. I think to pretty much put in a nutshell, what a classification of animals would represent the Black Knight, I believe, is animals that are more stealthy. Okay. Uh, Animals that are more stealthy, not necessarily animals that are more extroverted, maybe animals that are more introverted or ambiverted. I want to talk about that too in the future because they talk about the INTJ and INFJ as far as the personality traits. But what if we threw the ambivert in there and we come up with something like the ANTJ and the ANFJ, just like you have the introvert, extrovert in regards to the personality charts. What about the ambivert? I believe that's what the Black Knight is. So he doesn't shut himself off from the world, but he does try to stay far away from the things of this world. Okay. He's approachable, but hey, like Aquarius just said, hashtag bears do not like to be bothered. Don't poke the bear. Okay. Do not poke the bear. Okay. You said deliberate. He's more like Yahweh Shai. The Black Knight believes in Yahweh Shai. Is Yahweh Shai the ultimate Black Knight, the original one? I'd say he could be the father of the Black Knights. I say the Black Knight. I say the creator is more the real Alpha. He's the real what? Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. So he pretty much instills what a real Black Knight is. The true angels, the guardian angels, like when they talk about Michael, the archangel, and things like that. Black Knights could actually come from such angelic lineage, and we do not even know it. We probably don't even know it. I think the true Immaculate Conception is not just based on the Virgin Mary. I believe it's based on families giving birth to children they didn't realize were angelic. It had nothing to do with your lineage or your gene pool or your bloodline. Like there was an angel within your genetics. Not that you have angelic genetics, but maybe the child that you gave birth to was an angel in disguise. Like a true indigo effect, or what I sometimes call a true cobalt effect in regards to gifted children. So for all we know, Black Knights could be that way. So yeah, that's an interesting point, deliberate. And speaking of that, uh, Aquarius said very interesting points. And yeah, I like your interesting points as well, Aquarius. You said very interesting points because Black Knight does have more of a solitude lifestyle, but not necessarily because he chose it, but it just happened to be that way. Bingo. Yeah. He just it was a suit that how can I put this? It wasn't a suit that he chose to wear. It was pretty much a blanket that was put on him while he was sleeping. So it has to be something that's truly in you or amongst you, not just something that people put on you. Like it has to be amongst you. Like that blanket would be not just a suit that you go find at the store. You know, a lot of people want to get things suited and tailor made for them, but some things are just naturally that way for some people. Okay. Or even supernaturally that way. There's a supernatural power with this Black Knight thing. That's why I said like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter your personality. Some people are just more for being a Black Knight than others. It's based on the journey. Okay. Yeah, you said Aquarius. When yes, righteous and empire is where the Black Knight dwell. Yes, and then you also said yes. say it the angel force, angle force is the Black Knight. Yeah, for sure. Um, that's facts. Now, I want to also talk about female Black Knights because I've talked about that, and we do have some ladies in the building, so I want to talk about that. Right? I think that's important. So because people I didn't get I got views for it when I did talk about it, which once again is in the playlist at this channel called A Black Knight's Perspective, which I got to edit some of those live streams because they were pretty choppy, but nevertheless, it's still the truth about female Black Knights. But basically, the way she learns how to be amongst him is based on her learning his toolage and taking his instructions. It's not something that she forges on her own. Hey, what's good, Brownie Ellie? Glad you're in the building. We just started talking about female Black Knights, so I'm glad you showed up at the right time. Yeah. So basically talking about how a lot of ladies can learn about the armor as well. You know, not just the way guys wear their armor, but ladies, the way you also wear this armor too, like in the scripture where it talks about the full armor. Okay. Well, you know, with the right man, the righteous man, you're going to learn more about that armor. So basically, he probably had a suit for you to wear already. But maybe you might have a certain toolage about you that you already had on you, but you want to benefit the man that you run into. You want to benefit that Black Knight, that Bruce Wayne Batman type that you run into. I believe the Catwoman would have been great for the Batman, if you will, in more ideal situations. Okay. So I've been talking about this with another content creator, and well, he doesn't really like to call himself content creator, but he does make content. But me and him, we talk about it a lot. And so, yeah, shout out to Venom. But there's more to this. So, yeah, there's gals that do learn about this Black Knight side of things based on the instructions they learn from a man. But also, there are others who maybe they didn't get those instructions from a man, but she learned through experience about things, about life. And she will apply it to the man that she runs it to. That type of man that's walking with his full armor, like she wants to be a benefit to him. So, the gal that learned the instructions from the man and she got her suit on from the suit that he gave her, that was what I call a twilight. And so the other gal who came to the man, she already had on a certain armor, her suit, she learned through experience, but she wants to be a benefit to that man. Venom called that a Valkyrie. So you have the Twilight and the Valkyrie. These are the two ideal type of women to be around a man that is a Black Knight. So that's what it means to be a female Black Knight. Specifically, female Black Knights are either Twilights or they're Valkyries. And it makes sense, okay? You said Aquarius, how rare are Black Knights? Like, what's the percentage? I'm gonna say 5%, maybe less than that, but probably 5%. So the same thing they do when they talk about the high value man, how there's a certain small percentage of those guys. I believe so with Black Knights too. There's a very great number of white knights compared to Black Knights. You can pretty much assemble white knights in a Ford factory, a Chrysler factory, you name it. They get built all the time. They get built like Hemi Hellcats every day. You know, Dodge Chargers, Rams, they all got Hellcats nowadays. So all these white knights driving around in Hellcats, y'all see them on YouTube. All these guys showing off in their Hellcats. Y'all see it. I don't think a Black Knight would want a Hellcat. He ain't gonna want that much attention. Hell raising attention, burning your tires, letting flames out your back pipes, gonna out your exhaust pipes, gonna burn down a building, gonna add more scorched earth. I don't think a Black Knight wants that type of attention. I don't think a Black Knight wants to have a car that's you can hear it coming down the block. Okay, you can hear my car, but you don't need to hear my car coming down the block. Okay, I might step on the gas, you know, because I drive a sleeper. You know, they call it sleeper that car that's um, what they call that. It's just unexpected for you to think it would go that fast, like unexpected. See, yeah, Black Knight, he's, I guess they would say mysterious, but also unexpected. You said Aquarius. Wow, that is extremely rare, but I definitely it is yes, I understand. Yeah, you definitely understand why. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, because you would think like it's not just really based on my outlook. It's not just based on my opinion. Y'all can look at basically the opinion of the world. When we go to the movies, most people now root for the villain. They don't root for the hero. Okay? They don't root for the hero. So that's what Bruce Wayne realized. He was starting to become more of an anti-hero as time went on, because he realized, okay, being a hero for the city and the people don't even root for the hero no more, what's the point? So you become more of this anti-hero. They shoot the light, beam the light in the sky, the bat in the sky, for you to come out and save the day. But what happens when they feel like you haven't saved enough people that day or that night? You get tired of that. You get tired of feel like, oh, I haven't done enough to make sure everybody's taken care of. Now you just try to live a certain way, preach a certain lifestyle that people should live, ought to live, supposed to live, and supposed to pass down to the next generation. And if they don't, this is going to be a result. This is why we have the problems we have. You care less about the person's opinion. You like, look, this is the problems that we have. So Bruce Wayne, he was very intelligent. You know, he was actually part of the Justice League. If you look at a lot of comic book series, Batman was part of the Justice League, and he was always the smartest one. And the unique thing was him being part of the Justice League, and in this regard was he was the only one that wasn't a mutant or a god, because basically some of these heroes and comic book characters that we have, they're either mutants or they're gods, and Batman was neither. He was just very intelligent. So that's what's great about Batman over time, and this is based on his experience as Bruce Wayne, and I'm giving y'all my experiences as Bruce Wayne. I'm not saying I'm the most intelligent guy in the room, but Ray speaks, people listen, and I'm here, and I'm thankful for those that view my channel, checking me out, all of that. More on the way, definitely. So, this represents a Black Knight's life. People listen to this type of individual, whether they like him or not. Sometimes he has to issue apologies out to the public. For example, Kyrie Irving. Now, I'm not saying he's a Black Knight, and I understand with some of the things that he said that some people felt like he deserved punishment for. I understand that. I'm not talking about that, so let's not get off track. I'm saying, like, it's just a similar person that is pretty much a figure that people want to know what is on his mind. They always look forward to when he has to say something, even if it's something they want him to admit that he was wrong about. Like, the public loves this type of individual. They want to figure this person out. That's a Black Knight's life. There's always people trying to figure you out, even at your job, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're a Twilight or a Valkyrie, they're going to try to figure you out, even at your job, your social circle. People are going to try to figure you out because you're not like them. You do things differently. You said deliberate. Yahweh Shai was not an introvert. So some Black Knights are not, and some are. Saul Paul was introvert. I believe that's what you meant. But yeah, no, that's the thing. The creator was more of an ambivert, not an introvert. So yeah, yeah, this is a way that he wanted you to talk to him. Creator doesn't want you to talk to him in an outrageous way or talk with crazy words. He talks about keep the Sabbath day holy. Um, that's not the sign of an extrovert, but he wants you to talk to him and don't hold things back. That's not being like an introvert. So yeah, ambivert definitely was the creator. The ambivert and the ambiance go together, you see. Yeah, so we are about almost 30 minutes in, y'all. We're almost 30 minutes in, and I wanted to get more people to show up here that wanted to be on the panel. I think tonight is going to be kind of low key, but this is kind of just really more or less also a PSA, because yeah, I wanted to try to get some people on the panel tonight to just express their views. I wanted more people. I know there's one person for sure in the chat that would love to speak, but I want to get more people that would want to speak on a panel to show up so I could talk. But nevertheless, definitely more of these conversations coming up on the way at another platform where I will continue this discussion. But this channel here is just becoming more of what I call an emotional channel versus a logical channel. We're going to have more emotional content, more emotional live streams coming up, because This is a relationship style channel that I'm developing, that it is evolving. But yes, this Black Knight conversation is still a conversation to have here in regards to even relationships. Because ladies, like, I know there's a certain guy that has your interest. Maybe there's some slight conflict you might have with him because he just does things a little bit differently. But then after a while, you realize that different thing that he does is actually pretty good. Like, because of the love, the amount of energy you get from how he does things differently. It overshadows the things that other guys do that tend to be the same and typical and usual, but you don't feel the love and the energy of love behind it. You said Aquarius. What made a Black Knight actually realize he was a Black Knight? That's a good question. When he realized that he just didn't want to be part of the kingdom, the society, the plantation, or in scripture where it says he didn't want to be part of the world or worldly. He didn't want to be of the world. You in the world, but not of the world. So you start to have these type of mindsets when you start to have a renewed mind. Truly, when they say you taking the red pill, is sort of how you know when you're no longer a Black Knight. But I believe that's just the beginning. You got to get beyond the pills. You got to actually get unplugged. I believe you start to have certain instances and certain sequences in your life where you realize, like, yeah, I'm not feeling all this. I'm not feeling what's going on in the world. I'm not liking it. So your mind starts going a certain way. But then over time, you kick it in high gear, and then you start putting these thoughts that you have together into action, into life, into philosophy. And so that's where the real Black Knight starts to show himself and even show herself, as she wants to get more tapped in with that type of man, or maybe her experiences led her to be a certain type of woman that would want to eventually get tapped in with that type of man. You said deliberate. Now, Yahweh Shai, very skilled. He was very smooth with this word. He had an answer for those jokes all the time. He laid them down without putting his hand on them. Wow, powerful. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. So yeah, we're gonna probably. Oh, you said you said deliberate. Samson was a Black Knight. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Depending on how he lived his life, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So you gotta avoid the Delilahs, the ones trying to be delightful, the false light. Amongst the scorched earth. You walking through this game, this life that has the game in it. Like that's part of scorched earth. The Black Knight maneuvers through the scorched earth. The scorched earth occurred when Babylon started to fall, when the kingdoms and the society started to fall. You saw the flames, but the Black Knight knew how to get through the flames. Delilah was trying to set up Samson, but he still got out. He still got out of that society. He still escaped with his life, even though they were trying to take him down over a lie that Delilah told everybody about him. See, yeah, fellas, you get better over time at learning how to escape certain lies about you, whether from a female or a male. Okay, you're just learning who to associate with and who not to associate with. You learn that as time goes on, and that lets you know that you are of the Black Knight type, because a white knight ain't trying to think like that. He gonna get in where he fit in. He got his clique. He gonna kick it that way. He's gonna stick with them that way. That's how he's gonna do it. But overall, I think for me personally, this series has meant a lot for me. This playlist has meant a lot for me. The Black Knights, a Black Knight's perspective, it's helped me out a lot in my personal life. A lot of things that I realized that, I've gotten from these YouTube spaces in regards to topics about white knights, but even in my personal life, how I've always known that I was not a white knight. So I knew I had to move about a different way, but I won't necessarily say black knight, but I knew I wasn't white knight. So I was like, how can I live a certain way and not worry about the fact that people gonna get they're going to get mad at me because I refuse to do this or I refuse to do that. I just move a certain way. Like Batman had to realize, yes, he wanted to save the city, but the city didn't want to be saved by him. So he like, well, there are certain things that I will do, and there are certain things I will no longer do. You're not going to be happy about me looking out for y'all. There's certain things that I don't need to do anymore. Bruce Wayne was a billionaire. Bruce Wayne was not a millionaire. He was a billionaire. Now, some people can probably correct me on that. He was probably either a millionaire or a trillionaire. But if I'm not mistaken, Bruce Wayne was a billionaire. Now, who knows? Me, Bruce Wayne, if you will. Maybe I might become the same thing in regards to being a billionaire. I don't know. I'm just saying. But hey, gonna make sure that yeah, we gonna have that Batman suit to go with it. We gonna have that Batman suit to go with it. You said Aquarius is another difference between a black knight and a white knight is a black knight is highly spiritual and a white knight is spiritually bankrupt. Yes, that's another difference. Good question. Yes, that is another difference. Black knight is highly spiritual and a white knight is spiritually bankrupt. Yeah, a white knight might be even religious, but that doesn't mean he's highly spiritual. It doesn't mean he's highly spiritual or spiritual at all. You said deliberate, very powerful. You said rayologyxm is a true black knight. I appreciate that. Humbly speaking, I appreciate that. You said Aquarius. So basically, a black knight is spiritual and into his spirituality to get to his higher and better self, but a white knight is practical and just want to get money while being greedy and showing off. Oh yeah, showing off in the Lambo. Yeah, showing off in the Lambo. Want a girl with a big camel. You know, I'll let y'all think about what that is. Yeah, let's go. Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. That's what the Black Knight is all about, deliberate. Yes. But I'm gonna wrap this live stream up. Just wanted to see if some would show up for the possibly an open panel. Didn't really get that tonight, but this is sort of a unique topic. Uh, but I still want to put this out here for everybody to still check out because after this, we're gonna talk about Black Knight and all things Scorched Earth elsewhere, and I'll give y'all more details as time goes on. It's been under construction for a little bit, this other platform, but so far it's looking pretty good. So I'll give y'all more insight and definitely more on the way. The Black Knight conversation isn't over with. We're just taking it elsewhere as we make this channel more emotional. You see what I'm saying? You said deliberate. Can a white knight change his team to a black knight? It depends on if they get into the truth or not. It depends on if they get into the truth. If they're not into the truth, nah, it ain't gonna happen. But that's a great question. I appreciate that, Aquarius. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you so much. But yeah, make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Your first time here at this channel, make sure that you subscribe. Hit that like button, share this channel. Make sure that you also comment. Comment in the comment section below. For those on the replay, in the description section, I got a place if you want to tip yours truly. A link is in the description section. Also, there are other platforms that I'm on in the description section. It's only going to get better from here, no matter what it looks like out there, especially in regards to a Black Knight's life. I know I could have said more on this particular live stream, but sometimes less is more. Say less in order for more to be said. Thanks a million for stopping by. Thanks a multi-million for stopping by. All right, now, y'all.